Morning, everybody. Friday, the 11th of June. Week's almost over. Got a busy day today. I'm doing this. Then we have a band Zoom meeting. And then I'm off to the post office to drop off a bunch of book orders. And then off to the studio with the wonderful Herb Peterson to do a project that he's involved in. So it's kind of a full day. This is why I kind of end up sitting here talking about a lot of stuff and not playing all the time because I don't have that much time. But I will. Maybe over the weekend I can hunker down and do some playing. I'll figure that out. Once again, it was really fun to visit Tim Weisberg yesterday and then see all the comments that came pouring in, especially about Tim and Dan Fogelberg's work together. I know it ended up kind of sour for them, but they did make some great music together, and that's at the end of the day what you really want to focus on, and not some of the psychodrama that ever came out of these. And God knows I sure missed Dan. Boy, what a loss that was when he passed. Such a really fine artist and really great guy. So, it's hard. We start going through these kind of things and I start reflecting and I realize how many people are no longer with us. And it's a bit heartbreaking. I mean, it's part of the life cycle, but it's still, it doesn't make it any easier. So today I am going into the real Wayback Machine, but it's still happening, which is amazing. I'm going to visit an artist who I worked with back in 1971 for the first time, named Turley Richards. Turley, his music has been around. He actually started working in the late 50s, and well, let me be accurate. I will take off my specs and whip out my copious notes and see what we got here. This was an album that we did. I believe we did this at the record plant, as memory doesn't fail me. Hopefully, we did it. This album is called Expressions, and it was produced by Paul Harris. And the band on this record is myself and Russ Kunkel and Danny Korchmar. Lou Merenstein also played guitar on some of the songs. The great Jim Horn, who played on our first Section album. And I did lots and lots of sessions with Jim Horn. He eventually moved to Nashville. But while in L.A., he was one of the first call people here. Turley's playing guitar and singing on this, and I think there's a couple of tracks on the album that my friend Brian Garofalo played bass on also. I couldn't find the designations, though. Turley's really just a great singer. I mean, he's got, I don't know, like a 5-octave range vocally. I mean, he's an amazing set of pipes. There's actually a video of him, I think, in the late 60s on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And then he comes out and kills it. Johnny's like freaking out and stuff, and the place goes completely nuts. It's really something to behold. It's just Turley and his guitar out there. I mean, he has an interesting, story. When he was 4 years old, he lost the sight in his left eye from an archery accident. And then went on, and eventually, when he was about 29 years old, he lost his sight in his other eye. So he became blind in half. And he's a maniac. He's got glass eyes, and he'll sit there talking to somebody, and just kind of go pop an eye out just to freak him out and stuff. And he is a lunatic. I mean, he's one of the funniest guys I've ever known. But he's also really truly amazing. I mean. He'll come into a studio and he'll walk the room once, and if anybody came in, not in a million years would they know he was blind, not sighted, because he just knows how to suss a room out. He feels the room, and he's like immediately comfortable in that space. He's originally from West Virginia, but he moved to LA in the 60s and with a band, and things just didn't happen for him, so he ended up moving back to New York City. And at that point, he started to gain attention on the music scene there. His debut album came out in 1970, just titled Turley Richards. I've done a bunch of albums with him. We did, we did an album with Mike Post with him, and it was the album where when I was talking about how on Amanda Brecker's album, when we took a song from 4/4 and made it into 6/8. Well, Turley on the album that we did with Mike Post took Sweet Baby James and made it into 3/4 rather than 4/4. And I remember I played it for James at one point, and he says, God, that would have been a really cool way to record this song. You just never know, and it really changes the whole feel. At some point, I'll go visit that album. But we did this thing with Mike Post. This was a number of years after the album I'm going to show you today. And then a couple of years ago, Turley came out here, and we got together at my friend John Gilliton's house and did another album with Turley out there. And John kind of co-produced it with Turley and played keyboards on it, and it was myself and Turley. I'm trying to remember, maybe Greg Bissonette or Steve Ferraro, John Ferraro. I don't remember. I have to go back and investigate that. Sorry, I've been up for ages here. I'm just pulling it together. It's all okay. It's just been a long day. Got a lot of stuff already done. But Turley's a really fascinating character. The last time I actually saw him was he came. We played Louisville, Kentucky, which is where Turley lives now. On the Phil Collins Not Dead Yet tour, and Turley came to the concert, and we hooked up backstage and hung out and introduced him to Phil and everybody. And he's a force of nature, boy. He's a big presence when he's in a room, but when he opens his mouth and starts singing, you just kind of takes your breath away. So I thought I would just play a couple of songs for you from this Turley Richards album from 1971. Called Expressions, and this is Carole King's song Child of Mine. So here we go. Just check, he's a beautiful artist.
Although you see the world different than me, sometimes I can touch upon the wonders that you see. All the new colors, the pictures you design. Oh yes, sweet darling, so glad you are a child of mine. You don't need directions, you know which way to go. I don't want to hold you back, I just want to watch you grow. You're the one who taught me you don't have to look behind. Oh yes, sweet darling, so glad you are a child of mine. Child of mine, child of mine. Oh yes, sweet darling, so glad you are a child of mine. Nobody's gonna kill your dream. I tell you how to live your life. There'll always be people to make it hard for a while, but you change their heads when they see you smile. The times that you were born in may not have been the best, but you can make the times to come better than the rest. I know that you'll be honest if you can always be kind. Oh yes, sweet darling, so glad you are a child of mine.
just a beautiful voice. I'm going to look up and try to see, yeah, because that was Carole King, Jerry Goffin on it. I'm trying to find out if there's, can find any credits for string arrangements and the like. And there is some keyboard on there, and I don't see. This is why I depend on friends of mine on here, like Rick Converse, who, man, they just are the forensic beasts. They just go in, man, they find all this information. So maybe I'll just sit back and wait for some of you to show up in the chat window on this video, and you can we can fill in as to who did what on this. I'm going to take one more look here. I'm sorry to disappear on you, but come on. Yeah, nothing here is showing it. I'll try one more thing. No, I'm going to skip that. This is only going to mess up the day if I keep this up. Oh, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm just going to go on to another song. This is Expressions. This is the title track to the album. And let me get in over here and see what we got happening.
Hey, get around with it all.
Oh, this is actually called Beautiful Country.
Hear what I've got to say.
Sorry.
I'm going to the beautiful country. I'm gonna go there today. If you're looking to find love, peace and tranquility, oh, where you can bathe in the sun all day, embraced in perfect harmony. Now there's no need for fear, oh, 'cause there's no hatred there. No, there's just lots of beautiful people with the smell of the clean fresh air. So come on, everybody, come on, jump on my train. Let's go to the beautiful country. Clap your hands and start to sing. Come on now. La 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 la. La 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 la. Jump on my train.
Whoop. Stop it. Stop it. I mean, the breadth of what he can cover, it's really fun. Hear that la da 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 kind of reminds me, just there's hints in there of the old TV kids show, the Banana Splits. I played on some episodes of that, and it just for some reason, every time I hear that, it takes me back to the Banana Splits. So here's another song. This is called "The Last Day." On YouTube, this is off of somebody recorded off of a 45.
The sky turned gray and left a stillness in the air. The sun just seemed to fade away, and emptiness is everywhere. Not one leaf upon a tree, and not one flower left at all. Not one breath of air left to breathe, and no help for us to call. No use running, it's all over now. Oh, the whole world has been damned. The smokestacks with their blackened clouds are riding out advertised. Man's creation has won,
Such a beautiful voice.
and the victories are none. Too bad there be no celebration. Man's creation has won.
How quickly it all disappears on it. Hold on. Sorry, let me get rid of that. I'm just looking for something else on here for you, and give me 1 second. Yeah, this is when you're flying by the seat of your pants, just trying to go for it. I can't find the one I was looking for. Let me just hold on 1 second here. Oh, this is beautiful. This is really a great track. This is the old Holland Dozier Holland song, "My World is Empty Without You, Babe." Here we go.
I need love now more than before. I can hardly carry on anymore. My world is empty without you, babe. My world is empty without you, babe. My world is empty without you, babe. Without you. Without you, and as I go my way home, each time the darkness falls, you know you can find me within these four walls. My world is empty without you.
Some really great songs on this project. When you really hear it in full fidelity, it's pretty great. I'm thinking Paul Harris, who produced it, may have been playing keyboards. You know, boy, I'm trying to remember back to 1971 sitting. I remember being in the record plant with this. Those were the days too. You'd be at places like the record plant, and you'd come walking out of the studio, and there was multiple studios, and there was like they were all working, and so you'd walk out and get in the hallway, and you bump into Harry Nilsson, or you kind of, you name it, there would be Motown artists there, pop artists, and the hallways would become like the Hang, and there were times where you just saw cases out in the hallways. Everybody's names were stenciled on their cases, and it was kind of like a who's who of the world of studio musicians. And there were a bunch of studios like that, RCA and villages still like that, and Conway, and so many of these rooms, the Wally Heider studios, where they were really just kind of this exquisite breeding ground for music. People would drop in, and I remember doing a project at A&M, and I finished the project at, I think about 5 o'clock in the evening. We'd been there since the morning, and I came walking out in the hallway, I'm just gonna pack my stuff up, and I walk out there, and who's standing there but Herbie Hancock? And he goes, well, what are you doing tonight? I said, I don't know, nothing, we just finished up. He goes, want to work? And ended up pulling all my gear out of Studio 2 and putting it in Studio 1, and spending the evening working with Herbie. So I mean, it was an amazing, the energy and the vitality in the studio situation was something to behold, which is, it's still there a bit, but not like it was in those days when there was so much work being done. So if you want to check out more, if you want, go on YouTube and check out Turley Richards' Tonight Show performance. It's this really cheesy black and white video, but you can hear him, and man, he is singing his ass off on it, and it's something to behold. I'll dig up a couple of other Turley projects, the one we did with Mike Post, and I'll see if the one we did with John Gilliton and all of our buds can be found there. Because I've been looking for stuff. There was a guy named Jim Carroll who I did an album with about the same time as this out of New York, and David Spinoza came out here from New York to kind of produce and work on that, play guitar. And I'm trying to find anything on YouTube, and I can't seem to find. I found one song, a single, that was released off of that. And there's a whole bunch of albums that I've worked on over the years that it's really hard to find them. But in terms of the people that were involved in this, maybe with string arrangements, if anybody can find that information, go ahead and put it up, because they deserve credit. It's just in the AllMusic and Discog all these different sites I've been looking at, I haven't found any credit yet, but there's people far better at the forensics of discovering who's done what in here. So I'll wait for your information at this point. But I'm going to get running now and get ready because we've got our band Zoom in a little while, and then I'll take care of a bunch of stuff and then head off to the studio with Herb Peterson and the like. So take good care. Have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow, but we've got a weekend coming up, so I hope you all enjoy it and stay safe. And that's all I can say at this point is just stay as safe as you can. Things are getting better, but they're not completely back to normal. We're never going to see normal again, but as things open up, I think we still have to, err on the side of caution. So do that, and absolutely, again, thank you to all the frontline workers who are still in the trenches on this. Their jobs haven't ended. So thank you every day for all you do. So take good care. If you're not around on the weekend, if you're gone, you can catch up on Monday, but I will be here tomorrow, and I'll find something else to do, and we'll take it from there. I almost just tried to shut my phone off with my keyboard. This gets a little schizo, I assure you. So now I'm sitting here with my mouse trying to work my phone. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.